and welcome. My name's Candace from A Mean Left Hook, creating instructional resources for left-handed crocheters. In this video, I'll be showing you how to tie a slip knot and work the chain stitch. These are foundation stitches for many crochet projects. You pretty much have to learn these before you can go on to create anything in crochet. So let's get started. First, to get your yarn on your hook, you'll need to tie a slip knot. Now there are a number of ways to do this. Here's the way I create my slip knots. It's the way that's always been easiest for me to remember. Okay, I start by hanging the yarn over my first two fingers with the tail of the yarn coming toward me. I then cross the tail of the yarn behind the other side, okay, and place it between my first two fingers. I just kind of hold it right there. I grab the other side of the yarn, okay, and then I pull that through the loop I've created. Okay, and then I have my slip knot. And you can see that when I pull on the tail, it will tighten the knot. When I pull on the other side, it will loosen the knot. Okay, okay, do that one more time. Hang the yarn over my first two fingers, cross the tail behind the other side, put it between my two fingers, okay, and then I just pull that loop over the yarn. And there you go. There's my slip knot. Okay. I'm going to put my hook in there. I'm going to pull the tail to tighten the slip knot. And now you can see that I haven't pulled it super tight. You don't want to just like really tighten it up there on the hook, because that is going to be super difficult to work with and get your hook through. So you want there to be a tiny bit of slack between the hook and the knot, okay? Just that little bit, okay? Now to work your chain stitches, what I do is I kind of pinch right on this knot here. I just kind of pinch right here, okay? And that will hold it in place so it doesn't come loose or get too tight, either one, okay? Then I wrap the yarn over the hook. You can do this two ways. You can either use your right hand to kind of wrap it over, or you can use your left hand with the hook and go under. Either way, it does not matter as long as the yarn is on top of your hook, okay? Then you grab the yarn with the hook and pull it through the loop. You have just chained one. So the slip knot doesn't count as your first chain. It's when you pull the loop through, then that's when you count it as chain one. So to do our next one, we're going to yarn over, pull through. We have now chained two. Okay, and as you work, you want to kind of move your fingers for your right hand. You kind of want to move your right hand up with your stitches, and that helps keep your tension nice and even. Okay, you don't necessarily have to move your fingers at every stitch. I sometimes do like 2. If I'm working with something very small, I might even do 3. Okay, so you'll see I just kind of keep moving up along my chain as I work. Okay. Now if you're new to crochet, you might want to practice this until you get these stitches nice and even. You'll see how when I'm pulling through, I'm kind of checking the size of my loop as I go through. Okay, I want it to be just barely bigger than the hook. And because I'm kind of gauging the size of these chains against my hook, it makes it very easy to see when they're not the same size. Okay, so you can see if you look back at the whole chain I've created, these are nice even stitches. They're all the same size, okay? And that is exactly what you want as you're going through. So like I said, if you're new to crochet, you might want to practice this chaining a little bit, and you can just make your chain as long as you need to make it until you're getting these nice even stitches. And once you're getting these, then you move on and start learning. I usually recommend starting with single crochet, and I'll have another video about how to do a single crochet coming up soon. Okay. attention is how tightly you're pulling on this yarn right here. Okay, because if you pull on it too tight, it's going to tighten the loop that's on your hook, and it makes it really hard to work with. Like, I can't even pull. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and if you have it too loose, the yarn is just going to be really hard to like work with. Like, you're just going to end up with these like giant stitches because there's no tension. There's nothing holding it. So it like you just end up with these like gigantic kind of unformed stitches, and that is definitely not what you want either. So I'm going to take these out. There we go. So you want to make sure that you are keeping fairly regular tension on this yarn in your hand, and you can do that just by moving your finger usually. Depending on how you wrap the yarn, how you hold the yarn, your tension is something you can kind of just play around with, see where you like it, how you like to do it. Also play around with just how you hold the yarn in your right hand. This is kind of what I've settled on. It's just kind of wrapping it between my fingers. You know, again, I have it on the index finger, so I can always pull it tighter or looser, however I want. And then also if the yarn is kind of a more slippery yarn, I can kind of pinch it a little bit between these fingers and keep a better grip on it. If it's a more coarse yarn, I can kind of hold it more loosely and have it slide a little bit more. So this is what I've settled into. You know, but everybody does different things. It's really however feels comfortable to you, and if it works for you, do it. Just keep doing it. Okay. So there you go. That is how to do a chain stitch. I'm going to show you one more. Okay. So what you're going to do, you're going to yarn over your hook, pull that hook through, so you have a new loop on your hook. All right. So that is it for today. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you feel like it helped you out and you want to get more awesome content from Amin Left Hook, be sure to like and subscribe.